Hey everybody, welcome in. My name's TJ. I'm the coach of the Detroit Dipplins in the Dipplin Draft League. This week, we've got our Week 5 matchup versus the angry Aipoms. Now, the Aipoms are 0-4. I'm 2-2, but last year they beat me, and it was a frustrating loss. He played really well, obviously. You have to beat someone, but I was about one move away in a situation in which a Roaring Moon of mine had nothing to beat a Garchomp, and I outsped it, and I would have killed it, and I would have swept because everything I had OHKO'd it no matter what. And so now I got to get my revenge. Let's get into his team first. His team consists of Mega Charizard Y, Great Tusk, Galarian Slowking, Tornadus Incarnate, Venusaur, Kleavor, Hisuian Gudra, Hisuian Decidueye, that can Terrastallize, Araquanid, and Glaceon that can Terrastallize. Pretty obvious Sun team. You got Zard to set it, Great Tusk to use Photosynthesis, Chlorophyll on Venusaur, and all kinds of stuff like that. But there's also a slight ice component to it, potentially, with a Chilly Reception into Glaceon. There's a lot of weather stuff, but there's also hazards with webs from Araquanid and spikes from Kleavor, along with some solid support from Gudra's tankiness and Landorus's prankster, Thunder Waving, all that stuff. I do have a pretty good matchup against it, though. Off the top of my head, the 6 I would expect him to bring are Charizard, Great Tusk, Thundurus, Venusaur, Gudra, Slowking. Kleavor does seem like it could come, but I don't know who would drop. The bottom 3 are questionable, but probably one of them will end up coming, but I don't know which. So this is the 6 I'm bringing. I'll get into it in a second, but if you're just watching the intro normally, I'm bringing Mega Alakazam, Ceruledge, King Gambit, Hisuian Samurott, Doug Trio, the new addition to the team, and Indeedee Female. You can go ahead and skip to the battle if you want, or we're going to get into a deep dive into each mon and why I'm bringing it and what the sets are right now. So we're going to lead with Hisuian Samurott, literally no matter what he brings, because the worst possible option is covered. The worst possible option is probably Charizard, and he's Solar Beams. However, I'm EV'd with the 216 HP and 40 special defense and the Assault Vest to live a 252 modest Solar Beam that triggers on turn 1. And so there's a lot of stuff. I've kind of formulated a way to deal with every single lead, even the weirdest leads like Glaceon or Slowking or something like that. I have a way to deal with all of it, and a lot of times it ends with Samurott just getting up a spike and sucker punching, but a lot of times I'm able to save it and go into someone else. So with the Adamant Nature, Ceaseless Edge is going to be able to just destroy a lot of people, and Sucker Punch is going to be huge because he's probably not going to be in during the Psychic terrain that's up. Or it is good against things like Charizard or Thundurus that are flying. Sacred Sword to beat Gudra, Aqua Cutter to beat Kleavor, and obviously Sharpness as the ability. Indeedee Females come in this week with the Psychic Surge of her own, with the Terrain Extender to get the extra turns out of the Psychic Surge because it's really, really good against Prankster Thundurus or Priority or anything weird like that, along with obviously its own Expanding Force and, spoiler alert, Mega Alakazam's Expanding Force. So Indeedee is running max special attack with max HP and a little bit of defensive bulk, with a Terra type of Fire to resist most of Venusaur, a lot of Charizard, a lot of Kleavor if he's not doing Stone Axe on me. Just turns the type tables. Mystical Fire really helps beat his special attackers because not only in the sun can it potentially kill Venusaur if it's no bulk, but it definitely lowers its special attack. Healing Wish is pretty useful because there's a lot of things that I do randomly outspeed, like Gudra, Araquanid, Slowking, all those kind of things, even with no speed investment. And so being able to Healing Wish if I'm on like 5% and just have that around is really nice. Or Baton Pass if I'm in a situation where Indeedee comes in and can obviously switch out into something. Like, yeah, it's a really good tech to have. Sarah Ledge is coming with a pretty similar set as usual, max tech, max speed, focus sash with weak armor to be able to get up a sword stance and be a +2 attack, +2 speed. With the psychic terrain, it can't be instantly revenged with priority. Bitter Blade to beat things like, what's it called, Venusaur. Close combat to beat Gudra. Poltergeist to beat anything that resists either of those, i.e. Charizard or Slowking. And overall, this could be a really good sweeper. It can also use his own Sun, because I have to remember that in Sun, Bitter Blade is stronger than close combat most of the time, I think, right? Yeah, because it's 135 times 1.5. Oh, it's actually pretty close. But you know the deal. It's a good setup sweeper. King Gambit's coming with a Chople Berry in case of Great Tusk, in case of Gudra Body Press. Anything weird like that. With Supreme Overlord, because it's able to come in, and with this moveset where it's low kick, sucker punch, zen, headbutt, and swords dance at +1, it has a move that does 80% to literally anything. Or not at +1, at a fallen one. Especially with a swords dance, it can OHKO almost anything. Low kick is for Gudra or Glaceon or anything like that. Sucker Punch is obviously just its best move. It beats a lot of stuff. It can reverse sweep. Swords Dance is set up. And Zen Headbutt is good for things like Great Tusk, if I stayed on it. Venusaur, which can't really kill me unless it's Specs. It's also a nice neutral option versus a Zard in case I'm scared of a substitute or something like that. And overall, yeah. Mega Alakazam is, of course, coming with the ability Trace. It's an interesting set this time because 72 speed with no boosting nature gives it a speed tier where it outspeeds everything that's not a Scarfer, and it always loses to anything that is a Scarfer. So I invested only in exactly the speed that I needed, which ends up being 72. And then I gave it, obviously, still 252 special attack with modest nature to boost it. Yeah. And 184 defense, which helps the calcs a little bit more. It helps me survive. I remember Great Tusk. I'm pretty sure I survive a close combat on booster attack that I wouldn't if it was HP. It's got an interesting set this week, and I've learned from the week versus the Sableye to make sure that at all times the moves that I bring are absolutely optimal if I'm not bringing just ultimate coverage. And so this week, Expanding Force or Dazzling Gleam is always the most effective move over Shadow Ball, because Expanding Force versus Slowking. Slowking's the only mon that he has that is actually weak to Shadow Ball, and Expanding Force is actually better than that in terrain. Outer terrain that just sucks, but it's still, it's effective. I can sub on a lot of things, and there's some really good abilities to trace, like Venusaur's Chlorophyll, Great Tusk's Photosynthesis, which would end up tracing special attack, not speed, which would be nice, but it's okay because the special attack is awesome to trace as well. Prankster from Thundurus, all kinds of stuff like that. Now, the fourth move, Teleport, that I'm bringing, I'll explain in a second, but it is important to know that Prankster does not make Teleport go first, even if I trace it. Teleport is if I kill something while in a sub, like I get a sub up, and then I kill something, and then he sends in Hisuian Gudra, or anything that's a wall, but not an offensive pressure on me. And then I just teleport, and he breaks my sub, and then I get a free switch into anything to react to what he did. And that's going to be a really helpful tech. Next, the newest member of the team is Doug Trio with Arena Trap allowed. I've got him Choice Band, 252 attack, 252 speed, with Jolly Nature because the Choice Band ends up working. Earthquake to kill. Gudra, freaking Slowking. Why am I blanking? It does a lot to Great Tusk. It does a lot to Venusaur. It's really good, and everything that I can't hit, it hits with Rock Slide. such as Tornadus, or rather Thundurus, I'm sorry. Charizard, obviously, 4 times super effective, and I'm always faster than absolute max Charizard. And Glaceon. As well as Sucker Punch in case I'm outsped by something that's a Scarfer and I just need the damage. Or Stealth Rock if I get in a position where I feel like I'm baiting out something where I'm able to switch. So Stealth Rock might be kind of a useless move, but the trio set is so limited that there's not really much else. So yeah, that was Dugtrio, Alakazam, Kingambit, Ceruledge, Indeedee, and Samurott. So yeah, that's the team. That's the explanation. Let's get into the battle. We got the game. Let's see what we can do. About what I expected. This is just going to be a Samurott lead into Hisuian Decidueye. That's okay. That's one of the worst possible leads he could do. Let's see here. I bet he's going to spike. This is the only time I switch out of Samurott into Ceruledge, because he's either going to switch and I'm okay, or he's going to attack and nothing he can do does anything except buff me. Let's see. Let me do some calcs here. Ceruledge, 252. Close combat into Hisuian Decidueye. As a dark type, it's almost never guaranteed to kill. However, does it have Sucker Punch or Priority? It does. Okay. So I need to just CC. Nice. Okay, I'm good. I'm faster, and I was able to kill him. He couldn't get the sub off. So now this is a pretty free Bitter Blade. I don't know what else he would go for here. Maybe a Sucker, just to make it interesting. Yeah. That's probably what I'm expecting, which is why I'm Bitter Blading. Maybe get some HP back. Definitely can't Sword Stance because I'm probably expecting him to kill me. Or to... Okay. It's not, it's not Booster. Okay, wait, I mean, there's kind of nothing I can do. Well, let me check. Great Tusk at 252 HP. Poltergeist. Item at +2. This could kill if he's not fully defensive. He's super defensive, that's okay with me. I was already faster at 295. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna come in here, threatening him. I'm going to Mega to trace his Photosynthesis so that Charizard can't come in for free. I'm going to sub, expecting a switch, and I'm good. I traced his own Water Bubble. Okay, interesting. I'm going to end up Gleaming here just to get some damage off. That didn't really do anything. That could be AV. This is a good time for Gambit, I think, because he definitely can't do anything to me. Leech Life hurts a lot. Gambit's kind of my best. I don't really have a great answer for this. I'm going to SD on a hopeful switch. Infestation is interesting, okay. I'm going to Zen. This is probably Protect. No, I can't risk it. Okay, nice miss. Oh, I can't kill this guy, dude. Oh! Wow. Okay, so Zen Headbutt did 88. Or did 76. Yeah, no reason not to do this, except... Wait. Let me think about this. A third? It's a quarter? Yeah, I had to. And I have to Sucker here. Sucker definitely will kill. He can't sub. Yep, got him. Okay. Had to win that mind game. And we did. This is a tough set. Okay. Here's the thing. If he subs like I'm a little afraid that he's about to do, Zen Headbutt is right. If he doesn't, he kills me, and I'm able to just go Trio, which is why I'm Zen Headbutting. Oh, he just Will-O-Wisps. That's good. Now I'm going to Sucker. No, I'm going to keep Zenning because of the same thing. It's fine. 372, or 328 rather. Yeah, I just always Rock Slide here, because if he switches to Gooey, I can go Indeedee. Or if he stays in, I get a kill on Araquanid, Cleavor, or Donphan. So he has to go Goodra here, or something dies. And he probably knows that. Oh, this is 4 times resist. Oh, it's Photosynthesis Defense, okay. Interesting. Can't do anything to Indeedee, that means, which means this is a good time to get terrain set up. Nice. That was a great call by him. It was really, really good. I think Expanding Force will still probably kill. I mean, is there anything I can do? Okay, so let me do Dougie. Let me count Trio. 252 Choice Band. Rock Slide. With some solid. Okay, yeah, so let's go Indeedee, female, 252, modest, Expanding Force outside of it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I destroy this thing. That's okay with me, because now well, let's see, what could he have? He's got Will-O-Wisp, Weather Ball. Weather Ball's nothing, so this is either Solar Beam, Flamethrower, or Earth Power, which means I'm just going to raw here, which is good. No more sun, so no more booster for that. Cleavor. I feel like I gotta go here and hope he's not Scarf. He probably will kill me with anything other than Stealth Rock, or what's it called? Stone Axe. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm in better position. Just in case he's way faster or something, I'm going with the Healing Wish here. Or whatever that's called, Expanding Force. I'm gonna go for it again. Yep. Aqua Cutter. Oh man. He's probably still faster. Oh no, dude, I should have gone Zam. That actually sucks. I gotta be faster and I gotta kill it. Oh, I misplayed. I needed to go Alakazam there. Well, yeah, because I definitely outspeed it. Crit. Oh, nice, we killed it. Okay, I still win. Definitely, because, I mean, unless this is Scarf something, or really fast Goodra that's faster than 206, it's the only way I can lose this. Oh, interesting. That was, you never know. You never know with Goodra. I think I should still probably win this. Okay, I did. Alakazam cleaned it. And we win. We move on to 3-2. Yeah, let's get into the post-game analysis. Alright, so let's take a look at this game. So, some notable things, he did end up bringing Araquanid and Hisuian Decidueye. I kind of thought that he would definitely lead Araquanid, if anything, Webs, maybe Cleavor for rocks, but I felt like he understood that I was going to lead Samurott, and so I think Araquanid would be a good lead, but also Decidueye was, and although I kind of figured it would Terra Dark, as it does, as you see on this turn, it still was a major threat to Samurott because it could have close combated, it could have leaf bladed, anything like that. But you'll see here that I switch into Ceruledge, and although he Swords Dances, I still stand by it, that it was the right play, and it's because if he would have done anything that would have done any kind of damage to Samurott, it either would have triggered Ceruledge to be able to set up, or to get fast, or it would have just done nothing with like a fighting move per se. But he Swords Dances, and although he probably could have suckered or something like that to get some damage here, what does he do again? He goes for a sub, which is a good play, assuming that I didn't have close combat. With me having close combat, that doesn't look like a good play, but it was, if you remember, that obviously I'm not like a fighting type. I'm not always going to bring in, especially in a matchup looking at this team where it's like, oh man, that's kind of not that good. But I bring it. He doesn't get the sub off now. I don't have to fear Sucker Punch because I always live it, so I just go for a Bitter Blade. Ends up working. It's a bulky Donphan. I Swords Dance because I will need it if it's not a defensive Tusk, which is just stupid because it obviously was after the damage Bitter Blade did. But it's okay, I get a Poltergeist, which never was going to kill, but it ends up being good chip on Donphan. Donphan gets a kill on Ceruledge, but Ceruledge did enough. It took down 2 guys to a lot of health. So I threatened it out here, and so I'm able to get a substitute, and I trace Water Bubble, so now fire moves will do less against me if anything like that happens. But I sub here, and then knowing he's going to break, I Expanding Force. Turns out he's way bulkier than I thought. I thought that would do more like 40. Plus the Leech Life, and so I have to switch in Gambit here. And he Leech Lives for a little bit, but on my Sword Stance, expecting a Sticky Web or a Switch, he actually infests me, which is going to get some good chip. So I decide to go for Zen Headbutt, which I miss. And it's a little sad because now it means that King Gambit can't sweep in the end game. However, I get him right back with a Zen Headbutt flinch. And then I have to go for it again because I always beat Decidueye with Sucker Punch, which I do here. I get it a little lucky there that he didn't Sword Stance, but I was going to always Sucker Punch there. I'm able to just hit the Charizard because I was expecting maybe a Substitute or Will-O-Wisp or something like that, and so I hit it. And then I probably could have suckered again, but I had to not let it get the Substitute off. He kills me. I scare it out. I think I wanted to mention that at this point I was like, well, it gets a kill with anything other than Hisui and Gudra. I don't know what I was thinking. Defensive Tusk, booster energy, 4 times resisted. Yeah, it did 4%. He healed on that turn because of leftovers. So obviously I have to switch. You can't do anything to Psychic type Indeedee, but Ice Spinner's a scary tech there because it gets rid of the terrain obviously, and so it makes it so that I can't really do damage to anything except for the Great Tusk. And he knows that, and I still raw Expanding Force. And then I stay in because he literally can't do anything to me because Weather Ball was normal type. And so he Will-O-Wisps just in case I go to Dugtrio, Samurott, probably. But I just stay in Expanding Force. And so now at this point I have to keep my terrain, and so I can't let him get this. So I switch out to Dugtrio because if he Stone Axes, I live it. If he U-turns, it's a sack. Rockrunners gives me the chance to bring in Indeedee here and get the kills. I Terrifier just in case it's Scarf or some weird stuff. It's not. Cleavor comes in, Stone Axes, which I expected, and it's fine because I can bring in Samurott, which I was 100% sure always survives a Stone Axe, and I knew it was Banded or Scarfed at that point. Aqua Cutter's guaranteed to kill it. And then he brought this in and he told me after the match that he thought I was choiced in some way. And so he was a little surprised when Sacred came out, because I do think, well, no, because he was in a, he actually did a better position there because that survived and Great Tusk would not have, although I could have missed. He Dracos me, which is just a last hope because now he has to hope I just can't kill it or something. Expanding Force kill it after that long calc. And now Donphan literally always dies to that, even if it's a Salvest, so I'm able to win. And I think that the game got a little scary with the Cleavor kill on Dugtrio being a U-turn instead of a set move, because that meant he could bring it back, and I didn't necessarily know if it was banded or not. Because, yeah, but I think that I could have probably had a better differential if I kept King Gambit alive. However, doesn't matter, I won 1-0. I'm 3-2 on the season with a neutral differential. So, yeah, I got Alex's YouTube link in the description. He makes cool TCG content. Make sure to sub to him. Thank you for watching. See you next one. Bye.